Yo, what's up guys, it's Zao here, and I'm taking budget Fire King Tri-Brigade to locals. We were able to go 3-1. I wasn't able to record the last round against Marincess. I was able to win that one, but you know, 3-1, pretty decent. But first, we're gonna go over the deck profile, and of course, I always have the deck profile to download it down in the description. So check that out if you want to try it straight off 1-to-1. But I mean, let's just get into the list. I mean, some of this is pretty standard. The only thing, Garunix, I feel like after, you know, playing the locals, I feel like I kind of want to bump this up to 2, but I'm not quite sure what to cut yet. But for the most part, you know, 3 Kieran, 3 Arvada. I don't think this is like ever really changed. I think maybe for Tri-Brigade version, you could go to 2 Arvada because there's quite a few normal summons you might want to use. So I think Arvada may be one you can cut, but at the same time, destroying Arvada is actually pretty good because you can just revive another fire beast warrior or whatever. So you can actually just revive back fractals and kits. They'll be negated, but it'll just be another material to use. So I'm not quite sure how many Arvada I want to play, but 3 or 2, I think either one works. Barong is probably in this version fine as a one-off because this version doesn't really destroy as much as some of the other ones, but that's not really the key point of it. But if you want the follow-up, then you're destroying Barong with the Garunix is a pretty good option. Rang Bali, I'm not sure if I really want to play Rang Bali because like anytime I could use Rang Bali, I'd rather use Garunix. So it's kind of hard to say how I really feel about it. I mean, the spell Trap Negate is cool, but at the same time, I never had the opportunity to actually be able to use it. So I'm not sure how I feel about Rang Bali, but 3 Ponix, I think this is fine. You could possibly do 2, but 3 is like okay. 3 Fractal, I think this one you definitely want to play 3 of. Just your best starter, technically. Kit, this is, I was hard debating 2 or 3, but if I played 3, I'd have like too much engine. So I stuck with 2. You definitely need at least 2. 1 will not cut it. You always want like more than 1. Just the amount of fires in the deck, you want to up the amount of fires to like have everything actually live. So Kit at 2, pretty solid. 1 Nerval, 1 Keras. Yeah, that's just, you gotta play them at 1. Revolts, of course, crazy card. We love Revolt. 1 Skyburn, because when you start cycling already through your Fire King Island and Sanctuary, you want another search target for Ponix. So if you want something usable, Skyburn is actually pretty nice. It's a kind of okay going second too, but I'm not really too sure how I feel on it. But you know, it's still pretty useful. Triple tanky because we can search Arvada or Fractal, and we definitely want to be getting Fractal in hand. Hard to lose to Droll though, unfortunately, for this version of the deck. So, and then triple Sanctuary and 2 Fire King Islands. So yeah, I definitely wanted more ways to get to the Fire King engine because on its own, you know, just Tri-Brigade stuff, you lose quite a bit if you want to get some Ponix. So I thought, you know, just hard opening Sanctuary or Ponix was just better. Because Fire King Island, if you have Fire King Island and like something to pop like a Arvada or something like that, then to get to Garunix, I don't know, it just like ends up making the engine like way stronger as opposed to normal summoning Ponix. So that's why I really like 3 Sanctuary. And then for the non-engine, Imperm, because it's in the structure deck. Ash, because it's really cheap and it's just generic and it's a fire. Droll, it's in the structure deck, and I don't really know what else to put for the last 2. I was thinking Nib, but I just ended up going with Talents because since this version hard loses to Droll, I was like, you know, if I'm going to lose to Droll, I might as well rip a card out of the opponent's hand, right? So that was my thinking on the Talents. This one could be like called by if you want, or maybe just something like Nib. Yeah, like Nib is just like decent. For the extra deck, so Almirage, you kind of need to play Almirage just because sometimes you just want a monster in the graveyard, like Kit. Lightheart, because it's the Link 1 Beast Warrior for Tri-Brigades. Sunlight Wolf, pretty self-explanatory, all fire deck. IP and Nightmare Unicorn, but obviously if you have IP and SP instead, that's better. Double Dragon Lords, I never made this, but it's a pretty good option for just removing stuff from your opponent's field. So, you know, obviously you can just easily make this with Tri-Brigade stuff, but I think in the future I'd probably replace this. Farragut, Bearbrum, you gotta play them. Hida, you know, fire deck. Rugal, you actually have to play Rugal. He doesn't feel too great a lot of the times, but he is decent follow-up if your opponent also breaks. So there's that. You know, I did use him once, and it did actually win me a game because I could bring something back and was like able to like cycle stuff with like Farragut. So pretty cool there. But 1 Apple, this card people forgot. People forgot how good this card is when you got at least like 3 materials on it. and then you back it up with Shureg. Oh my goodness. But triple Shureg is a mandatory. You can't play any less. I went through all 3 Shureg like a lot of the times, because you know, sometimes you use it in your turn 1 for like a combo to search, or then you of course use it for the opponent's turn, and then sometimes if they clear that Shureg, then you need a 3rd Shureg. So you definitely gotta play 3. This one, I never really felt like I needed more than 1. I think maybe there was like one time where I'm like, oh, you know, if I had another, I could use it. But a lot of times I'm like, I just needed 1 if you do ever board clear. But I never even got to that point anyways. Most of the time I was playing like Tri-Brigade stuff, and like the Fire King stuff was to like either protect my Fire King or protect my Tri-Brigade stuff, or just go for OTK. I'm not really sure on that one. Side deck. Some kind of self-explanatory stuff, although there's some things in the future I would probably replace, but for now we'll just go through it. 3 Herald of the Abyss. This is in the structure deck. Helps beat purely. I didn't really face any purely, so you know, it's whatever. Lightning Storms, you know, pretty cheap. Board clears. Dogoron, because this was also in the structure deck, but it's just decent removal too. Solemn Judgment's also in the structure deck, but pretty good going first too. I mean, just protecting your stuff from getting like blown out. I mean, like, evenly matched does suck, although we can kind of make it work. Then the evenly matched, of course, because that card's crazy. And then the one Duster. So pretty decent deck list, I think. So aside from those like mini changes, I think the deck works perfectly fine with this build. Just, you know, a few minor tweaks I would make for, like, you know, ratios. But let's just get into the games and see how it goes. All right, so round 1 here. I'm just gonna show one match today, voice over it. If you guys want to see more, I can definitely post some of the other matches I recorded, but I probably won't be editing those. But you're starting off, we're going up against Branded here. We got the good old Fractal to start off with, and here I'm gonna normal summon Kit. We did add the Chaos off the Nerval, and so the reason why I start with Kit is because I have a Kieran in hand, so we'll be able to dodge an Imperm, because you know, we didn't see an Ash. You know, most people would Ash Fractal, so I'm thinking maybe Imperm. So I try the Kit. I mean, everything goes through here, so I'm not really worried about that. But now the next thing we could lose to is Nibiru. But fortunately, that's not in this future. But so I do forego any Fire King stuff, because I could have gone for a like Shureg combo to add Ponix, but I didn't really see that I needed to or wanted to. I felt like, you know, an Apo was enough. Apo with Revolt, and I do have a Kieran in hand. So I could do a little something with that too, but I guess not really that much. But, you know, then have Arvada. So next turn I have Arvada and Kieran ready. And we have an Apo to handle whatever gets thrown at us. But Brandon opening, so we're still in draw phase. They go Aluber, Tragedy, and I go Chain 3 Apo. So they add a Brandon Fusion, Tribute 7 for Saranir, and try to go to battle. So in the battle phase, I do make the Shureg and banish the Saranir, because I want to juice this Apollosa for one more negate. And they already used their chain blocking stuff. I mean, they already used Saranir, assuming they only play 1, and they already used a Tragedy. So they can't chain block this fusion summon, or I guess the Albion, I guess. So I'll be able to negate it. All they have is a Lubellion, setting up a Branded Loss. So I'm feeling okay about this. Nothing left on Apo, unfortunately, which I might need to add like some card to use for Apo after. I did originally have a Zelantis, but then I ended up removing it. Would have been kind of useful for like more damage, but I go Kieran effect, pop Arvada, then on new chain Arvada 1, Shureg 2. We're able to banish the Brandon Red, so even if they do train Brandon in Red, I can just banish the monster they summon. So like whether that be like Guardian Chimera or whatever, I could just banish it. Then normal summon Fractal, make another Shureg, and that's more than enough damage. They don't have anything else. So going on to game number 2, they go first. Starting off with Brandon opening, that's not good. And they didn't go for Eluber, so you already know they got Brandon Fusion somewhere in rotation there. And unfortunately, I do not have any hand traps, so we are not in a good position. They had the whole thing, Saranir, Cartasia, Quem, send a Brandon Loss. They have literally everything. This Brandon Fusion goes crazy, if I do say so myself. But going for an Albion here, sending Nibiru. And then Albion effect, chain 1, Quem, chain 2, Brandon Loss, chain 3. So get an ad from Mercurier, go to the Sanctifier Dragon, summon out Albaz, make Grand Granule with Cartasia, and then dump Gimmick Puppet lock. Or Gimmick Puppet. So we're not in a good position here. I try to go Kieran still in main, but they already have Mercurier. Yeah, I'm getting Gimmick Puppet locked. I don't think we need to see much more of this. Either you just end up losing the next turn. Yeah, there's nothing else to say there. So, game number 3, though. We get to go first. That's always great to see. And we did see Fractal. That's what we like to see. So, I'll start off normal summon Ponix this time. Going for a little bit Tri-Brigade stuff because I still have the KRS to fall back on if it doesn't go through. But from here, I do see a line to get to a an Arvada to protect from Nibiru. So I did see Nibiru's, and this is very susceptible to Nibiru without the Fire King stuff. So summon back Kit, destroying the Arvada, destroying Kieran, and then summoning back my Arvada. So we are looking pretty decent here. We're nib proof right now, as long as it's like the only hand trap. Go for Farragut, summon Karas, and they do in fact have Nibiru. Popping Ponix because I'll be able to add back Ponix next standby. Go for Banish 2 into Bear Realm, and of course, you know, good old Apollosa. I miss Apollosa. I miss making this card. This card is kind of nice. You know what I'm saying? So add the Revolt, or get a draw while I'm at it. Add a Revolt. I do have a Solemn Judgment and a Revolt. And then no cards in hand, but, you know, obviously we'll have Ponix back for Arvada to be live again if we want. They go Fusion Deployment for Albaz, and then Super Poly on resolution of that. Oof, okay. Apo wasn't so great there. Brandon opening, discarding their Nibiru that they had, and then making a Quem. So Quem here is kind of nice. You know, dump Cartasia, and then Mirror Jade effect to banish. I go Arvada to negate it, so I keep the Arvada, and then they go Quem effect to summon back Cartasia. But then I go Revolt here, so I want to be able to handle whatever fusion they put out, assuming it's like Grand Granule or something. But, you know, go for whatever I need here to link into Shureg. And I'll be able to get a draw one. So if I do like draw like a hand trap, you know, I'll be able to keep it if I want to. So search for Fractal, banish the Mirror Jade because I didn't know if I wanted to handle that Quertus. And I have a Shureg on board, so I don't want to give a free Albaz. And I did actually draw into an Ash Blossom. So I do have an Ash Blossom in hand and put back the Fractal. They go Brandon Red, and this is my chance to Solemn Judgment that. Pretty nice. Resolving the Mirror Jade. Then I can go for Garunix. Ooh, I can Garunix here now. Pop Kieran, summon back Arvada. I do end up popping the Quertus now because I have the Ash. So we're in pretty good shape there. And here I make a misplay. I was actually supposed to make Sunlight Wolf to get the Garunix engrave. So then I could summon back Garunix and get an attack boost. But I didn't. So I had to do this weird play where I pop my own board like 2 times. Pop my Xyz monster. So I can summon back the Garunix to get an attack boost. But all my Kiirans are in the grave. So I don't have any other way to get you know, another 1200 attack boost. So he actually lives on 100 life points actually. Not good. He goes with Brandon Fusion with Cartasia. Okay. So we don't have to deal with too much here. We do have a lot of things in rotation. He was able to Mercurial negate my Arvada. But a lot of our stuff floats, which is pretty nice. He's at 100 life points, so he has to get Cartasia off the board eventually. And we should be able to like beat through, but also time comes up here, and you know, I'm at like 3,000 something, but he's at 100 life points. We're able to get out of this game and take the match. So pretty close match, pretty fun deck overall though.